What we got? Friday the 12th. Yeah, June. Okay, 7:22 in the PM. 7:22. Well, 7:22 historically. 7:22 a.m. Abraham Lincoln took his last breath. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Should I say good evening? I am Friendship Pearson, and welcome to the show, Friendship Blue. Rendezvous time. Few errands to make today. Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. It's Friday. Another day the Lord has made. Let us be glad in it. Trying to get a few things done. Sometimes it's a Herculean challenge to get a lot of things done. And even though I'm retired or semi-retired, whatever you want to call it, I got to remember, don't go and try to do it on a Friday. Because Chicago, Chi-Town, the traffic is brutal. You can get through it and navigate probably between like 11 and 3, but after that, trying to get something done. If you live in Chicago, you know what I'm talking about. Traffic is something else. So yeah, I just had a late lunch, and I watched the video earlier. I heard about it. You guys probably heard about it. Today is the day that Trump, his name is supposed to be taken off the Kennedy Center. Did a few videos on it. I've been waiting on this because I got another spin on this thing, you know, a historical spin that you guys have probably thought about. But yeah, today is the day that Trump's name, a judge ruled, hey, look, Trump, Congress is the one that decides the Kennedy Center. It's the people's center. It's not your center. Been putting your name on this, that, and the third. The Kennedy Center is it's the people's house. And what I challenged earlier was why did it take so long for the judge to say something? Well, you know how they go, right? They do things by signs and symbols. But I want to play this one part for you, then I want to speak on it. I mean, what is in the name? Why did he have to have it up there? Is he saying goodbye? Is it a legend? Is he jealous of Kennedy? Is he trying to be the all in all of America and resemble what Rome did? I mean, all those are legitimate questions. But anyway, without further ado, praise God, from whom all blessings flow. Check out this program right quick.
Because a federal judge has rejected a last-minute bid to keep Donald Trump's name on that building. We don't know when those letters may be coming down. We do know scaffolding is up there and that the deadline to remove his name is today. It matters to Donald Trump, though, who has battled publicly with the Kennedy Center for years and is focused in his second term on efforts to cement his legacy at the institution. And yet he is losing the legal battle though an appeal is still pending. And the Kennedy Center has already moved some of his name from some of its branding, like on the website and in communications to members, because as U.S. District Judge Christopher Cooper said today, quote, Congress gave the Kennedy Center its name and only Congress can change it. Joining us now, Hofstra University law professor James Sample, who focuses on constitutional law and democracy, director of the Center for Effective Public Management and senior fellow at the Brookings Institution, Elaine Kemmark, author of the Substack newsletter To the Contrary, Charlie Sykes, and MS Now political analyst and Democratic strategist Basil Smikle. It's great to have all of you guys. What an incredible panel I have. So I'll start with you, James. How much of this do you think is about Trump's culture war, his battle with the courts, or just simply his desire to be respected in the world of media, of entertainment and culture?
If you really were respected, would you need to build monuments to yourself and to override statutory prescriptions that say that a building is in honor of a past president, a president to whom he does not compare? You wouldn't need to do that. This is about vanity, and it's not about the American people. With respect to the judicial ruling, the ruling today is a basic application of a simple principle called irreparable harm. If the government's position, if the Trump administration's position ultimately prevails in this, they can put his name back. But taking it down is the rule for now. And if he wins, there's no irreparable harm because it's not, frankly, that difficult to put the name back. He's not ultimately going to win on this one.
Do you think he has a shot via appeal, though?
I mean, these days I never say that he doesn't have a shot. That being said, the statute here is clear, and the statute says that Congress controls the Kennedy Center and that the Kennedy Center is named after President Kennedy. It is the idea, the chutzpah, the audacity of this and the smallness of it. On one hand, the audacity is massive, and the smallness of the ask is just as small.
So, Basil, do you think Trump is...
I grew up on statutes. I admire statutes. I grew up on, I remember when I started out in journalism and I learned about statutes. You got to have them. Once they're set, it's done. It's not like it was just someone came up with an idea. Once you set that out, that's it. That's it. This move by Donald J. Trump, it's now a move of desperation. I'm going to keep it real. Trump, he has an ego. I'm surprised it fits through the White House doors. When I put this thing in perspective toward the time, you're seeing the worst of Donald Trump. You're seeing a cat in the corner who knows his days are numbered. I'm going to say it again. You're witnessing the President of the United States who knows his days are numbered. The fact that they told him it was a statute, the fact that they told him that Congress is the one that makes that decision and made that decision, and in so many words, it doesn't change. It's I would put it on the level of a constitution. It's set. For all you Donald Trump fans who are still drinking this Kool-Aid, this is what you call disrespect. When you understand it's a statute, and you understand that the judge finally did something, and you back it up with what Congress put in place, but yet you still fight it, that's when you know he's out of hand. The ego is totally beyond measure. And now you have to ask yourself why. And I'm going to tell you why. He knows his time is not only short, but he knows he's losing this war. I'm gonna put this in perspective. I've been itching to do this. He knows he's losing the war overseas. And he knows his economy is wailing. And he know a few weeks ago that the numbers came out that he has the worst polling numbers of any president in history. When he is the one who ran for president. Remember, back in the day, he was the one who ran for president back in the day and would criticize Jimmy Carter, and I forgot who else. But he would say, the worst president ever. Oh, it was Biden. How did I forget that? He would always say Biden and Jimmy Carter. And then he would say that Biden made Jimmy Carter look good. Put in the comment section, you remember that, right? He used to always say that. And the point also being is that he would say they were the worst. It brings me back to my days when I was a kid. And you'd be like, you put your hands on your hips and say, now who talking? Right? What you up to, Willis? Now who talking? Baby, his name is Dirt. See, every now and then, a person with a massive ego, they get their moment. And they go in denial. Especially when they hold a power position. Especially when they can allegedly speak and the market puts money in people's pocket. When you got power which is not checked, especially time and basis. Now you get a president who thinks that he can continue to push back even when he has been shown that he's wrong. And I'm going to say it again, by statute and by the judge showing him that only Congress is the one that blessed us with the Kennedy Center. And that he really had no reason to do it. He was at, it was a legal jurisdiction. And in my humble opinion, we the people should have sued him. I think the people, I don't know, the village, the state, the county, I don't know how it worked. I think that Donald Trump, the president, should have been sued. And I think that the judge should have been out there right away and told the people, don't you touch it. I don't know, I didn't do the research, but I'm assuming at that point, wouldn't he be considered federal property? Or a landmark, right? When I was a special assistant to a building manager, I learned about landmarks. You don't mess with landmarks. Is that considered a landmark? What definition is it considered where it's sacred, where you can't touch it without doing a violation? I think it's a violation. I think it's a violation on so many levels. That's what I think. And I think the punishment should have been swift. I think it should have been a lawsuit and it should have been a fine. And I think that people should have been outraged. But you know, we're so busy. We don't get out there. We demonstrate about everything else. But I don't understand how the people got out there and took that thing down. But now, you know, I saw a few videos today. You know, they're talking about it. At some point, will it happen? That's the question. Will it happen? Will they take it? I hope they do take his name down. And I hope he is sued. And I hope it make international news to shame him. Because he set a precedence. I don't know. I mean, I don't study international history in terms of this type of thing, but people, I'd be willing to bet that presidents haven't done this before. So what makes him so special that he could do this? That he would be the one to, you know, grab the football and run with it, and the game ain't even started. I like that scenario. I mean, this was just a slap in the face. But let me get back to my major point. Why I really want to do this video. Here's the deal. I think he's desperate. I think he knows his time is short. And I believe that this is his Hail Mary to stay in the public eye. Because if he loses this battle, that his name gets taken down, I think he thinks the floodgates are coming for us to start pushing back on him. In other words, the emperor, he losing his mojo. You get it? You get it? That's what I've been thinking. I said, Pearson, you know what? You did a video a few weeks ago, but what is it about? He losing his mojo. And he know he losing his grip. So he got to fight for it, not just because it's the Kennedy Center. It's just because, again, his number's in the tank. The economy is fake. And like I told you guys months ago, there's two economies. There's ours, and there's this phony stock market. Well, what about the drug economy, Pearson? Okay, Three, three economies. This guy has got to be reeled in. You've worked around bosses and people that when they're unchecked, this is what you get. You tell me how you really feel. Don't hold back. No cussing in the comment section. But I think that he needs to be reeled in. I don't believe that his crown needs to be built on our back. I don't believe that his legacy needs to be built and it's phony, is what I'm saying. Because you have to earn those type of things. You have to earn that type of status. We hold you in high regard and we remember you in terms of a legend and stuff like that. We honor you like that and put up buildings in your name and streets after your name. We do that to honor you once you did something, not when you disgrace it. I'm gonna say it again because I wanted to get in history, whether it's America or any other country or culture, you put up buildings, street signs, monuments, go down the road. You do that in relation to someone who has done something. Where the people feel proud, they want to honor you. And many times it's not even a question of a vote. You're just like, you know what? This person was a legend in their own time. Or maybe we felt like they were ahead of their time. And you know what? Because we were graced with that person's presence, let's honor them. That's how I always looked at history. That's how I always looked at it. It's something that is earned. It's something that you don't feel like you're forced to acknowledge, and something that has to be pushed upon you. Agree? Shame on him. And shame on a do-nothing Congress. And you know what? The way I look at it is like this. What's the environment that we have in this country? Did Trump just lick his fingers and say, hey, you know what? The atmosphere is such that I can get away with this? I think that once we push him back, and I pray he loses this, then we get to thinking about things beyond the Kennedy Center. We're going to have to start learn how to walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. We've gotten in a habit, and me too, look, when I used to work many times between 8 to 14 hours a day, depending on what job it was, I was in the rat race, right? That rat race is serious. I'm in it now. I'm working now, but hey, rendezvous time. When you caught up in that rat race, man, in that world, you focused. Especially you got kids, you got mouths to feed, rent, lights, gas, maybe college tuition, car note, car insurance, you name it. You focused. And you're like, you know what? Okay, the president did that. He did that. It don't affect me. You know what? We're going to have to start looking at this guy and saying, you know what? It's time to get over the honeymoon. Was there ever one? I think it was. I think he managed to create an illusion for us all. And I'm not the kind of person where I'm going to be knocking folks upside the head and pointing fingers because we voted for him. We voted for him, okay? So what? If he or she, whoever gets in office, is not accountable and not working for the people, we got a right to speak. And the last thing we need to do is come against each other trying to find fault. You guys know how I feel, so I don't have to go over that again. But I really think that toward the end of this thing, and I pray they make this decision, hopefully next week, we start looking and making him accountable for the economy. Look, I'm keeping it real because the song, and I listened to 2 reports yesterday. One politician said this is the 37th time he's promised peace. Then this morning I watched the video and the person said this is the 41st time. Either way, meet me halfway. Let's say it's the 39th time. Well, people, this is an economy. I don't care what is going on overseas. Nothing overseas trumps, and I hate to use that word, but I'm going to use it. Nothing overseas, when it comes down to their affairs, I don't care if it's Israel, Africa, I don't care what country it is, anything outside of these 50 states, nothing takes precedence. That's right. I know how to calm down. Nothing takes precedence and nothing takes priority over our financial needs, people. And we gotta crack back. We gotta say, you know what? Your name ain't going on that damn Kennedy Center. It ain't going up there. And let it be a spillover decision. That is, I want you to think about your pocketbook. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Medicine go down better when you sweeten it up. You know where I'm going with this. If this war thing was going pretty good and we got out of it maybe about a month ago or whatever, and our economy was blinging, we'd be like, oh, okay, Kennedy Center, okay, this time, Trump. You can put your name up there, Trump. It's okay. I we divide, wedge issue. But we probably would be like, you know what? Okay, Trump. Okay. Put your name up there to the Kennedy Center with a wink and a smile. And then as soon as he out, we probably take it down 2 years from now, right? I can deal with that. But when you got a bad economy, fake numbers, a war that's out of hand, and every 3 weeks, just before the weekend, you speak and the market go up and folks make millions. And 10 days later, the dial go down a half a trillion or a trillion like last week. Baby, we gotta start acting like Americans and start being responsible. That's all I'm trying to say. I gotta get it out of my system today. It's been on my mind for a while. Because in other words, his name is dirt. His name, look, people, I don't care if he was Republican, Democrat, Independent. His name is dirt. If there's anything I learned in civics, in government, in taking government classes back in the day and world history, I know that if the money's bad, your country's history. Your country's history. I don't care how many medals. Don't show me General Patton. I don't want to hear nothing about King Arthur. I don't want to hear anything about, who was. No. I don't care. Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me an America where government is not in my way, that I can take my God-given skills. And after I work long and hard, I don't have to keep stretching my budget just to pay gas versus taking my medicine. Or I gotta decide on, well, you know what? I'll walk to work and I'll have my bologna and cheese sandwich. At least I got a place to stay. Look, I ain't got to give 1,000 examples. You know what I'm talking about. And if you're a senior citizen, I know you getting it. Because you've heard the stories about senior citizens they can barely afford their medicine because they got to pay their rent. And you young folks or you middle-aged folks, you're going through the same thing, especially if you're living by yourself. The cost of living is too high. So, again, I'm gonna conclude it. Trump's name is dirt because he hasn't delivered on what matters the most. He hasn't delivered on what matters the most, and that's economy. And no longer can we accept an excuse that we're at war. That's it. God bless.